tell me a little bit how Dirty Little Rabbits came to be.
Well, I have been friends, acquainted with Sean Cran for a long time, like over 10 years. Lost touch for a long time, but he and the keyboard player, Mike Pfaff, had started Dirty Little Rabbits as an outfit called Pfaff and Clown, which was Mike Pfaff and Clown, you know, Pfaff and Clown. And then it was all instrumental, and they were looking for singers, and they auditioned quite a few of them. But he had always had, he said, in his head to find me. But I was in LA somewhere, and he tracked me down, and he flew to LA, and like, you're coming to Des Moines in 3 weeks, you know, I mean, you're coming to live in Des Moines. I'm like, no, I'm not. But 3 weeks later, I heard the music that they were doing, and I was like, oh, I'm going to move to Des Moines to be in this band. So that's how it like started. It all came together. It was Sean was a good friend of mine.
Yeah. Well, you know, and the history there, you know, goes back to was that your first album, the Sister Soleil album, Solarium? Was that your first?
The first record from Sister Soleil was a record called Drown Me in You, and that was 1996, when I was in diapers. When I couldn't walk it.
Because I know on Solarium that Corey Taylor did some background vocals on that.
Yes, he did.
And so, I mean, your history from all the way from probably about 97 then.
Yeah. That's how I've been friends with those guys for a long, long time, and we did a lot of shows together, and you know, I was a huge fan of theirs before anybody else, you know, and believed in them when nobody else did, you know. So yeah, we have a long history.
Is it hard to establish Dirty Little Rabbits apart from that that giant circus that it is?
At first, I think when we were, I think that they've done nothing but helped us, you know, get our legs in the door, foot in the door, you know, and getting a baby band off the ground is so hard, and that, you know, band and you know, helped the Rabbits from the very beginning of its sort of inception, and then after a while, people started to like the music, because the music is so totally different, and I think that like some of the fans didn't like the music at first because they were like, what is this, you know, and but then, I mean, our live show is fantastic, you know, and I think that once people started coming to the show, and then they put it together, then they bought the records and they put it together, and then so now we hardly have any of those problems at all anymore. Like, it's more like people love the band. But I mean, it took like almost 4 years to establish ourselves as a baby band, you know.
Right. You deal with a lot of dark subject matter on the new record, a lot of dark subject matter. So I don't see how it's not a hard leap. The darkness of Slipknot and the darkness of Dirty Little Rabbits, they're very, very similar.
I think that it was the sound, you know, we use Hammond organs, and you know, it's very circusy sounding, very Doors sounding. I mean, that the whole style of the sound of the music is, I mean, it is stylized by those organs, you know. I mean, they're like another singer, you know. So, I mean, it sounds nothing like anything else, actually, you know. I think the closest comparison was Mr. Bungle, you know, and you know, and Mike Patton and stuff. Yeah,
you're not quite as out there as that can be. You know what? Things that kind of hit me were Tori Amos and the Cocteau Twins.
Oh, I can't believe you said that. The Cocteau Twins are like my favorite band. I have like 30 of their records, you know. I like everything. Oh my god, I can't believe you said that. Thank you. That's so awesome. People like don't even know who they are, and I'm still like on a campaign, like, you know, for that band.
Now, where are you coming from lyrically with this?
Oh gosh, I have to like write sort of in the moment. It was hard, you know, moving to Des Moines from LA. Those first 6 months were just, it was difficult for me I was constantly like, oh, that's it, I'm going back. That's it, I'm going back. You know, but the music was so good, and I thought, well, there's a place to put all this drama and tragedy and, you know, pain and stuff, and which is back into the band, you know. So I wrote a lot in the moment. And then also I did a lot of lyrically collaborating with Sean. I love collaborating with people, you know, and he wrote Happy. Those are all Sean's lyrics. He wrote Help. Those are all Sean's lyrics. And then I came up with the melodies for them, and, you know, so it was he and I really together, did a lot together, and he allowed me to just use it as a, you know, sort of exorcism for my, you know, my own personal demon.
23 seems to be a number that's reoccurring in your lyrics.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you just pointed that out. It's funny because, you know, at the end of, there's a song that we do, it's not on this album, but on one of our previous albums, it's called Same Mistakes, and the end, and this is just weird coincidence that you said that, I just realized now, but at the very end, it's like, what the am I doing here? 23 times, you know, and then somebody's age that I referred to at the time, and yeah, you're right. I never even noticed. I must have been subconscious.
Talk about your influences. I know we talked a little bit about the Cocteau Twins, but what are some other influences that you bring into Dirty Little Rabbits?
My two favorite bands, and I have said this consistently for the last, like, 20 years, it's been Nine Inch Nails and the Cocteau Twins. To me, if there was some way to morph them into one band, it'd be like the super band, you know?
So, tell me, what's inspiring you now?
Oh, you know, the pain thing never quite goes away, so it never quite goes away, and which is why, you know, got into music in the first place, like every other musician probably needs a place to put it. So
that's an interesting thing, because the only reason we're in this is because we didn't get enough attention somewhere along the line and we're tortured. So do you think that's why perhaps you gravitated towards this?
Oh, totally. I mean, like, I have run the gamut when it comes to different styles of music, but this was like, you know, this was very dark and very disturbing, and I'm like, this is perfect, dark and disturbing, you know, but very melodic and pop. They're pop songs, you know. I mean, when you come down and listen to it, very well structured pop songs, you know, especially like Hello, you know. But the thing is when we talk about the album, you know, we were calling this album the soundtrack to life for a really long time. In fact, we kind of toyed with calling that the album instead of self-titling it, you know. But with that in mind, it was almost a concept kind of record, because it sort of spans the whole full range of emotions and the human condition, and that's like, you know, and that's about as like personal. You have to be totally personal, and you have to be kind of in a lot of pain to be that, you know, honest, I think, about it, you know, because it just feels good getting it out, you know, it just feels good. It's better than therapy, a lot cheaper too.